Okay, you guys are lucky. Because I'm moving back down to New Orleans, I got a 1,000-mile drive ahead of me. So I had to get my oil changed today. That was the big thing in my life today. But because of that, I was right by the Asian store. So I figured, hey, why not? Because there's no place that I'd rather be than in an Asian store. I love them. And I can't wait to get back down to New Orleans and get to the Hong Kong market. I could spend hours in them. Hours and hundreds of dollars if I had hundreds of dollars. I picked up a couple things. We'll do another Vietnamese dish, and this is not a dish that I've ever seen before, but I'm going to do it in the Vietnamese style, and I think they probably have a dish like this. And if they don't, you know, just like that, the Treme, you know, the series where the girl copied me in the food truck after the hurricane, and I didn't get any credit for that. Well, pretty soon you might be seeing this on Vietnamese menus from my Vietnamese brothers and sisters. Awesome. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to do a Vietnamese stuffed squid. We're going to serve it with an onion sauce and some fresh rice noodles and a Vietnamese watercress salad. So, what do we got? Calamari, fresh, cheap. The other thing they had there, and these are why I like Asian markets, beautiful pompano, beautiful Spanish mackerel. Spanish mackerel, really, really big, beautiful, fresh Spanish mackerel for $2.50 a pound. Anyway, I just got a couple calamaris. Now, these are fresh, so they're all intact. How do we deal with them? Pull their heads off. And that pulls out the everything out of the inside of the tube. And then what you want to do is kind of feel around in there, and you're going to get a quill. There's a little quill in there. And you'll feel it. It runs all the way down its body. And what it does, that quill is what gives the calamari a little bit of rigidity in its otherwise limp and lifeless body, because otherwise it'd be kind of difficult for it to move through the water. So there's one. I did one earlier. There's two, and then we'll just do this. Same thing. I love calamari also. Fried, hey, whatever it takes. And I was in this store for like an hour debating what I was going to make, because they had these awesome little, what they call apple snails. I'll tell you in a second. We're going to take this and we're just going to rinse it off inside and out. And apple snails, they're just like really big escargot. And what I wanted to do was a little, let me grab a paper towel and get in your face. Do a little riff on one of my favorite Vietnamese dishes called a soy lap song, which is the Vietnamese sticky rice that's topped with some shredded chicken, Chinese sausage, and then fried shallots. Soy is rice, XOI, chicken, lap song is the sausage. So here's our calamari tubes, and if you want, you can just kind of wipe the skin off. It doesn't really matter if you do or don't, but in this case, since it started coming off, I'm going to go ahead and go with it. We're going to get these cleaned. I'm going to show you how to make the stuffing, and hopefully we'll get this going before my time runs up. This is going to be really, really good too. You know, unlike that other shit that I made. It's kind of gross. It's kind of like cleaning calamari is kind of like working in a, I don't know, ear, nose, and throat doctor for somebody that has sinus problems. So there you go. That's your clean calamari. Now for the stuffing. Bowl. Pork sausage, mild pork sausage. You could use fresh ground pork. I like the sausage because it already has a higher fat content. Makes it a little bit better stuffing. Mild, just a little salt, pepper, a little bit of sugar. This is the smart option. That's why I went with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take about half of that. because I like to use the smart option whenever possible. Into our bowl. We'll take our calamari tentacles and cut them off right where their eyes, the beady little calamari eyes are. Then there's one more thing that you might get when you cut it, and we'll see if it's in there. See that? I'm going to squeeze that out. It's a little hard knob, and it's the base of their, what they call the beak. Their beak is right there. See that? The beak is what they use to eat stuff with. And then we're just going to chop that up. This is a really easy dish if you get the stuff at the Vietnamese market to do it, or the Asian market. And don't worry about if you go into those places and you see shit and you're like, man, I don't know what to do with any of this stuff. Just buy it. Pick it up. Look at it. If it has tons of chilies in it, just buy it, because you know it's going to be good. There's certain things that you can tell by the name aren't going to be good. To me, one of those things might be pickled mudfish. I don't need it. A little bit of onion. Mudfish? Seriously? I'll wash my knife off for once. We'll take that, put it in with our calamari and our sausage. One thing about calamari and dealing with squid and other sort of an octopus and stuff, it will constantly get shit all over the place. You got to always wipe down. Now, the things we bought. This is a fried onion paste. And what this is just that. Nice shot. Right into the sauce. It's onions that have been slowly cooked in a little oil until they get nice and sweet. And that's it. And then they puree it. Really simple. We're going to throw that in with our filling. A little bit of sambal. Touch of fish sauce. Shape of fire plug. A little bit of sugar. And then that's it. That's our filling right there. We're just going to mix that up. One thing you could add in this, if you had it, was be a little leftover rice. You could add a dried rice powder to it. And you could add virtually anything you want to it. It's really, really, really good. It doesn't matter. But look, like this. See? I happen to have a lime there. Squeeze some in there. There you go. Now, we just take our calamari and we kind of just shove it in there. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but, you know, what is? Nothing's easy. Nothing good is easy. But it's not particularly difficult either. Anyway, the apple snails. What I wanted to do was a sticky rice cake with some sauteed apple snails and like a green curry. But I didn't want to spend $5 on a bag of sticky rice because I didn't want 5 pounds of it. You know, that's the thing. If you don't eat tons of rice or you're getting ready to leave like me, I don't want all this shit around my house. And we'll just keep stuffing it in there. Just like that. Squeeze it down. Not too tight because you want room to expand. And now what I would normally do is pin that with a toothpick, but I don't have any. So what's going to happen is this calamari is going to shrink And a little bit of that sausage is going to come out, but I don't have time to worry about that. We'll do it again with this one. If you wanted to do this quick, you could put this in a pastry bag, stick it down in the squid, squirt it in there, and it'd be good to go. I'm wasting a lot of time just stuffing these. So this might become one of those two-part videos I'm talking about. And if anybody has an idea of how to get the Java to work so I can send up a bigger video, I'd be willing to listen for once. That's enough in that one. Okay, let's get on with this. Squeeze it down. There you go. One more. You get the idea. We've got our oil, some peanut oil in the pan getting hot. We've got our water for our noodles in the back. And once we get these stuffed, this goes together real fast. This is like the last screw that you have to get out of, like if you're taking off a cylinder head on your car. Every one comes out easy, except for the last one. And pretty soon, if I don't get it, we're going to go with 2. This one's going to go into the trash because I don't have the patience at all for it. Serious. How did Lindsay Lohan get on the cover of Vanity Fair? Didn't she just violate her parole and get out of jail? What is with these rich bitches? What is with our society that idolizes the biggest scumbags in it? And they wonder what the problem with the world is. Okay, good enough. We're going to leave a little bit more room in there for that to expand. So, oil's right there in the pan getting hot. We'll put our squid in. A little bit of salt. Then we're going to take our onions, slice them. Whoa, that one shot across the room. I'm going to have to shut this off. I'm at 13 minutes. You know what? Seriously, I think this is all bullshit. You know, the fact that I have to do 15 minutes. But you can see they're starting to get a little bit brown, and you can see what I mean about the calamari starting to, the stuffing starting to come out. But it's not going to be a big deal. This dish is going to be worth it. It's going to trip you out how good it is. And I'm going to shut you off and then finish up again later.